Welcome back, everybody, to the Exit Row. This is episode 16. I'm your host, Adama Anderson, here with Justin Moore.
That's correct.
And Paige Larson.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys, welcome back. And we should congratulate ourselves. And
obviously.
Be very happy that, and, thank you to all our listeners. We did reach over the 1,000 play mark on Spotify. That's total 1,000 plays.
Yeah.
So, nice.
Heck
appreciate that. It's you guys that, you know what, I'm just rambling. So anyways, I just want to thank you guys so much.
Not enough can be said. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
exactly.
We appreciate you.
We
appreciate all the support.
And we just had the Super Bowl happen, and the Kansas City Chiefs are the champions.
Yeah, what's new?
And, maybe the Chargers will get there.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, I can say the same about my Vikings.
There you go, right?
It's Patrick Mahomes' world. We're all living in it.
It was a pretty good Super Bowl. I will not lie. It was pretty good.
It was.
Let's talk about the aircraft they took. Justin, you said that they took the...
I think both the Niners and the Chiefs, to and from, they took 777-200s with United.
Yeah.
Evo Blue, I do believe. But yeah, they took 777-200s both ways. Both ways.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Nice accommodations for them. And you two, do you both remember when we all went down to Kansas City to go spot there?
Yes.
For a day trip? It was about, what was it, last year? It was cold.
About a year ago, yeah.
And we had Shayla with us, and we all went out there spotting, and we saw the 777 with United.
Barely,
right?
And they were taking the Chiefs out for I think it was a Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, they're going to Cincinnati.
Yeah, and we were there. We knew that it was going to happen, and we all had to go use the bathroom real quick. And that was when they all of a sudden decided to take off.
Yeah, and the transponder didn't show up until they were already rolling, so it's not like we had any warnings ahead of time.
Yeah, if you're a plane spotter, like there's those planes you're after, and just we go to the bathroom once in like an 8-hour period.
Yeah.
And of course, it was that time.
You don't drink much because you don't want to miss anything. And we tend to.
I remember we were all just like blowing out of that gas station, being like, "Damn it!" as it literally takes off to the north. Like,
God, we were so
I remember us speeding back, and then I saw it out the window. I'm like, "Oh well, there it is."
Yeah, because
here we are.
We wanted to try to get a photo of it.
I mean, it was one of the rare like photo ops at MCI.
Correct.
Like it was
Yeah. Now spotting at in Kansas City. Now that is awesome when you get to that parking lot that's right next to the runway.
Great spotting in terms of aircraft we wanted to see that day, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
But yeah, 777-200s for the Niners and the Chiefs.
Yeah, and then they came back, and we had Southwest decided to throw it out there to Momma Kelce. She flew back with Southwest.
She did.
Yeah.
Justin,
very odd.
You had comments about that earlier in the week.
Yeah, I just think it's weird. I mean,
Why is that?
Everyone in her family but everyone in her family either owns or has access to a private jet. I'm talking everyone. Like everyone in her family has access to a private jet. I don't know what happened, like Paige. I don't know how this happened, if this was like a last resort kind of thing. Nothing against Southwest. It's just very odd that she was flying commercially in general.
Right.
In my opinion. Yeah. Couldn't she have gotten a spot on that 777? Like the fact that her son was flying home on United with the 777 with the team, I feel like that opens up a private jet somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
What's funny about that is I don't know what reading you guys did, but there's so many complaints coming out of Vegas that week just because all the airports in the area were at capacity. You couldn't fly in or out. Because I don't know if you followed Taylor Swift over from Tokyo. She flew into LAX because there was no capacity in Las Vegas.
Right. And that's a 3.5-hour drive from...
That was like one of the biggest complaints coming out of the Super Bowl was like Las Vegas is the perfect spot, but they couldn't contain all the private movement in and out. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Because they also have like a northern airport. They got a Henderson airport. They got...
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 technically.
Quite a few, just like in Phoenix.
Executives and whatnot.
Yeah. And they just could not handle it. And
I mean, Vegas of all places. Like, that's the issue at the Super Bowl in general, but the fact that Vegas had that issue too. But anyway, Momma Kelce, what was she, 838? What spot do you think she had?
She was an aisle seater, actually.
Yeah, she was an aisle seater in the second or third row. So I
do wonder, like the video that you showed us, Paige, like they called her out on the flight. I wonder if she wanted that. Like at the end of the long weekend, she's probably just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, people know who I am.
Yeah. Well, and then there was... I'm Jason Kelce's mom, not Travis Kelce's mom.
Let alone she's trying to be probably unrecognized on a Southwest flight, and then there's the stewardesses boom, that's Momma Kelce. Everyone, she's right here.
Well, and then there was a flight attendant that was wearing a shirt for Travis Kelce, I believe, and then afterwards there was actually a picture of her with the pilots in the cockpit.
That's right.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. She ended up in the cockpit.
So. But we're not. Yeah, like you said, wondered how that came to be. But anyway,
of course they're gonna embrace it.
Maybe she is just the woman we all think she is, and she's just so down to earth that she doesn't want to fly private and whatnot. She would prefer to fly commercial.
Right.
I can see that. I could see that side of her.
She wants to be of the people, and
because she wasn't in the suite during the game, even though Jason was. It was kind of interesting because she was sitting in the seats with the so-called common folk at the Super Bowl. But anyway, that kind of actually adds up now that I think about it. She wasn't in the suite. She flew Southwest. Momma Kelce is just one of us.
She is. What if Momma Kelce was one of us?
That's her first name too, Mama.
So that's I even saw on Flight Radar 24, like they literally showed how everybody left the airport afterwards.
I saw that.
And it just it's got to be crazy to be an air traffic controller and everybody trying to route all that traffic out of there as well. So shout outs to everybody who has to deal with those events and has to deal with all the plane movement. It's stressful, and it's understandable why there's a age restriction on people who want to become an air traffic controller. Something I looked at last year. Maybe I'd want to do that, and I can't. I'm too old.
So. Those people are. Yeah, I've always wanted to be an air traffic controller for sure.
It just seems amazing.
Not for me.
Stressful.
I'd rather fly the plane.
Just as equally as hard, yeah. If not harder to actually be an aircraft. You could argue it's almost harder to become an air traffic controller than it is fly plane.
I mean, think about everything that's happening right now with all the planes that are having just
issues.
But it's not just that. It's like all the we had a few incidents last year that really made big news of hey, they literally were within 300 feet of each other, aircraft almost landing on top of each other. We literally just had an aircraft land on top of one. And
I mean, ATC people are being worked to the core and then some.
Yep. And that's usually, unfortunately, how sometimes this government 24/7 jobs work is they are worked to the core, unfortunately. But
moving on.
If they could let me be an ATC, I'd like to try. So, veterans for ATC. All right. So, Momma Kelce, she's one of us taking that Southwest flight back. Now, I have a question for you two. Yes, Paige wants to point something out. You guys can't hear it, but we do have at my house here in the flight path here at Eppley.
It's a feedie boy.
It's a feedie
boy. The little
boy.
FedEx feeder Cessna 208 Caravan is flying over. One of my favorite planes of all time.
It is, and
feedie boy.
We get to hear it. Yeah. Feedie, and the way she says it. So, all right. So now I have a question for you two. Paige, you put this into our notes, our little group chat that we had. You brought up about, was it SAS? Scandinavian Airlines?
I believe so.
SAS, yeah. They are now doing what's called a trip to an unknown destination. What are y'all's thoughts on this? Would you, Justin,
we should describe it? So the concept of what you're asking is basically you're getting on the plane having no idea where you're going.
Correct.
Just to kind of lay the groundwork here.
Yes. It's like a 3-day trip, and you show up to the airport, and you have no idea where you're headed.
Yeah.
So, Justin.
I would go. Yeah, I think right now, if you had to go right now, I think I would go.
Is it because of the weather right now?
No, it's just because I'm a nav geek and I want to get on a plane. But like I kind of mentioned to you guys off air, it's all fun until you end up somewhere that, I think I'm more flying just to fly, not necessarily about where that destination is. Because I'm all about going anywhere. I'll go anywhere, but at the same time, like I said, if you end up in Tokyo, well, shoot, now I'm in Tokyo. I don't know what to do.
Right? You don't know the language.
I mean, I'm all about it until it backfires probably on some point. But yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you, Paige?
Oh, I would do it for sure.
Right. I think we're all getting on, but there's just so much more to it, you know?
Yeah. And
Right.
one of the points that I brought up is you don't know where you're flying, obviously, so you don't know what the climate is going to be. How do you know how to pack? So obviously you would have to pack for both scenarios, which is going to consume some space, and you would have to arrange it very carefully. But I mean, what if you're expecting to go maybe somewhere warm?
You got to drop everything and go right now. Like screw packing.
Screw packing?
Just drop
go?
everything and go. Yep.
Just all the clothes on my
Would you
back
still
and I'm
go?
going to the airport?
Would you still go then?
I mean, maybe if I was
You
guaranteed
got to go
some-
right now. Can't pack anything. Aileron can't go. Sorry.
That might be
That's the
a
deal
closing
breaker.
point for me.
aileron.
That's
So
the deal
if there's
breaker.
no aileron, then I'm out.
Okay, aileron can go. That's the one
Okay.
thing. And obviously any necessary medications, of course. But anyway,
Essentials.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
Yeah. See, I think we all still would.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you're like, well, it'd be nice to, until like I said, until you show up in Tokyo, Japan, with just aileron.
I know. It's just me and her figuring out what the heck to do.
Now, okay, so picture this, you two. Let's say they did that here at Eppley. All right. So here in Omaha, they say, you know, hey, you pay $300 for this flight and you're going to go somewhere today and you just don't know where. Now you're flying for 3 hours, random aircraft. Let's just say, we'll just start with a 737, okay? You're going to take a 737 and you're flying and you're flying and you're flying. You don't have CPAC or IFE, all right? So you can't figure out where you're going either. And then you end up in Lincoln, Nebraska after a 3-hour flight.
Well, I'd wonder what we've been doing for 3 hours. First off, yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be. I'd actually be okay with that. You know, like just going on basically a joyride and then you're back home is basically what you just said. So I'm actually okay with that.
However,
Yeah.
I don't think I would pay $300 for that, though.
But you don't
Like-
know though. You don't know though.
don't know.
But you don't
That's-
know until you get back though. See, that's the thing.
That's the part I would be a little
If you're
bit
flying
upset
on a
about.
commercial airliner, it probably adds up at some point. What if you had the
Yeah.
plane to yourself for 3 hours and you're just basically joyriding? I think that might be worth the price of admission.
I mean, didn't we all just joyride anyways? I mean, we knew where we were going.
You mean
Yeah.
on Redway?
With Global,
Redway,
yes.
yes.
Redway. Like, yeah. What if they said you're headed to Minot, North Dakota from Omaha, Nebraska? You ever been?
I've never
have.
been to North Dakota, and my goal is to go to all 50 states, so I would go.
Well, then that kind of ruins the whole not
Yeah.
knowing where you're going. But yeah.
Yeah, you
I
wouldn't
get
know
it.
until you got there. And then you landed in Minot, North Dakota, where right now it's wintertime and it's like negative 40,
Oof.
50 degrees there.
I might be a little bit upset and maybe just stay in the hotel the whole time, but
Yeah,
if
'cause
I'm
you-
in a nice enough hotel,
Because you were thinking you were going to go head south and you were going to go be in a warm place.
and they're like, nope.
Oh, joke's on you. I mean, we had no,
You went to
details.
Canada. Like,
Yeah, I think the idea is we would all go. You know,
Yeah.
might not be ideal where you're going, but I think we're all just such big fans of flying that we're gonna get on no matter what.
okay, so now I'll throw it at you guys. I threw it at you guys earlier, so now I'm going to throw it in the podcast.
Quit their own stuff.
What if
Yeah, jeez.
they did tell you what type of aircraft it was, and let's say the Feedy Boy,
The Feedy Boy.
the caravan right there, and you're going to take a caravan for 3 hours. I don't know how long a caravan can be up in the air. I'm not,
Days.
There you yeah. Let's go days. Yeah, it's magic. Let's say it's a 4-hour flight. There you go. And I'm sure people are going to fact check me. Whatever. No bathroom.
That was what I was going to say. There's no bathroom. So that's, when you're on a 4-hour flight.
I mean, if you're such a big fan of the plane, aren't you gonna be doing that no matter what? It's the
I
Feedy
mean, I
Boy.
think I would because it's
Well,
Feedy
yeah.
Boy. Exactly.
I'm not sure I'm gonna do a 4-hour flight on a caravan, but yeah. I
And
mean,
again-
it depends
and
where it's
again-
going. If we're just
again-
gonna be circling, probably not.
Again, it's going to land in Lincoln, Nebraska. By the way, for those who don't know, Lincoln would be a
I'm
10,
good.
15-minute flight.
If we're specifically talking the Cessna Caravan, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But if it's like an A350, we're talking just a joyride for 3 hours and you
Oh.
end back in Lincoln.
yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
I'm gone
absolutely,
for sure.
right?
Yeah, now that's another thing to consider too is the aircraft. If you're just going for a joyride and heading back and you're going to spend like $300 for it, if it's that or a 787 or a 747, I'd be like, hey,
What if it's an option? Like we both go, we're both having 2 different flights, You have to choose either like flight number 1 or flight number 2. You know nothing about it.
Ooh.
Flight
Oh,
number
that's
1 ends
cool.
up being the feedy boy, and you're like, this is great. But flight number 2, I get on it, ends up being this nice A350 1000.
Ooh.
Oh God,
That would be, there would be some jealousy for sure.
Be like,
But that
how's
would be
Feedy
hard
Boy
for me to
now?
be jealous because the Caravan is like my baby. So
Until you're on it for 4 hours and you kind of
Right.
realize the glamorous nature of the feedy boy.
yeah, for a 4-hour flight,
It's all
maybe
fun and
not
stuff
so
when
much.
it's on the ground, but when you're flying the feedy boy, it's a different story.
Right.
All right. So I got one more for you guys.
Oh man,
So what if it was, let's say Qantas. Qantas was bringing an A380 somehow to Omaha. Probably would take out of Lincoln because Lincoln has a longer air.
I could come out of Omaha. Yeah.
And, you know, they're the sponsor of it. Okay. So Qantas, you think you're going to Australia, and they land in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Given the nature of this conversation, I would know better to know that we're not probably going to Australia. They're throwing
Right.
you a curveball. They're throwing you a curveball. It's like flying Finnair A350 and you end up in Canada.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Well,
is
they-
this a joke? Like,
Yes, if I would fly the Qantas A380 to Lincoln, if that's what you're asking. Yes.
I mean, I would. Yeah, given the chance, I would. But
If
I'd
the
also be a
question
little
is,
bit
would I
like,
fly the Qantas A380 to Lincoln? My answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hope it takes as long as it possibly can. Use all fuel.
Exactly.
Use all the fuel.
I wonder how far you could go before you had to turn around.
That's actually.
You could at least get to the ocean, spend some time out there,
Yeah.
come back, hit the other ocean, then hit Lincoln, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got like that 12-hour, at least, I don't know. Assuming we're the only ones on board, could go even longer. You know,
Yeah.
depending on what the weight is.
Exactly.
Well, and it could be like a cool little tour, like the pilot, if they say like on this side of the plane you'll see this, and it's kind of like a tour.
What if
of
you had to
America.
spend all the time in the middle seat in the economy, though? You couldn't move around.
Oh,
But the plane was empty, though. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
that would be cool.
It would be kind of cool, but you can't move the entire time.
You can't
like
move, you're
there's
stuck. You have
Oh
to
my
just figure it out.
like this
God.
conversation has endless possibilities, but yeah, you know what I mean.
So I know I've got plenty of that type of experience where you actually take off in the 747 in the E4B. You take off out of Lincoln, and you arrive back at Lincoln, and you're like, okay.
You wouldn't know.
No, I would definitely know.
Oh, okay.
Definitely knew all of these, but, you know, yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying, like landing landing back at Omaha or back at Lincoln, it would be like, okay, we're back here. Took this nice 4-hour ride to just come back to Lincoln or back to
Right?
Omaha.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, it's just.
I think we're all answering yes to all. Basically, is what we've learned here today.
I think
Yes.
so. I think so. All right. On that note, we'll be back.
All right, guys, welcome back to the exit row.
What's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Adama, what's going on?
Hey, so let's talk about Eppley. It's getting renovated. Or now it's officially getting renovated. It's
getting bigger.
Justin can't keep it together.
It's good.
He's good.
He's good over here.
Yeah, he's
It was a weird intermission.
You guys don't even know. There might be the exit row after dark.
There might be
bloopers that you guys are going to get in the future.
We're professionals. So anyway,
Yes.
Eppley is getting renovated.
Yes, Eppley, if you don't know, that is our airport here in Omaha. We've kind of known for a while that it's going to get renovated, but now they officially,
They keep pushing it back.
In a short 5 years from now, things are going to be so nice.
right, in 2028.
Yes.
Long time to renovate. Like, they're already trying to do this overhang thing, glass thing over
Oh, yeah.
the walkways right
And then
there.
they have that new thing a little bit off the airport that they're building. What was that? It was some sort of power source, maybe?
I don't know what you're talking
I'll,
about.
Sure.
I'll have to look this up, but
Do your research. Come on.
Yeah.
that just popped up in my head. But I know they're starting to build something. It's either now or going to be close to in the future. I'll have to look it up for the next podcast, but
Okay. Well,
It's either going to be now or in the future.
yes, now or before 2028, all right?
yes.
So anyway, yeah, the airport's going to be much nicer than it was,
Yes.
which is not hard to do.
For those who've flown through, you guys
You
understand.
understand.
It's two different terminals with two different TSA pre-checks. no food options.
It's basically
Some
one
crack
airport
cookies.
differed.
What?
Differed up into two. Got north, as we call it, the North Terminal, South Terminal, right?
Correct.
Which are literally two separate airports at the end of the day.
Yeah. And it's just laid out completely different and weird. And
everything will be much better. It's one of those things that's gonna get a lot worse before it gets a lot better.
right.
Like right now, traffic is just pretty chaotic down there.
Yep. And maybe they'll finally have the tram when Omaha gets the tram after they build that massive skyscraper. They are talking about it going to the airport. So somebody like me who likes to take public transportation, hence even planes, I'll be happy when that's a thing for us. But yeah, so we're gonna go from 20 gates. Technically, we have 21 gates if you consider gate 21, the customs gate, which was supposed to be for the future. Back in the past, when we had Air Canada, they were supposed to, I think, utilize that gate.
Oh, yeah.
But we lost that route. We never actually got it. We got it, but then we lost it, so it never officially happened.
I never thought I'd miss a CRJ 200 more in my life.
Right.
And so now they're talking about the capabilities of us possibly having international flights. So
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. It's capable.
Right, capable.
Yes.
And my question to you two is, what flights do you think?
Well, obviously
we
the
could
Qantas. Just stop. We know where you're going. Qantas A380 all day
Qantas
No
A380
brainer.
back to Lincoln.
to Lincoln.
To Lincoln.
It's a no-brainer, honestly.
But that's what we talked
Agreed,
off
sure.
air. What do we want versus what could actually happen?
Right.
Yes.
Once. Anything. I'll take anything at this point.
Yeah,
Toronto.
exactly.
Vancouver. I would love Vancouver.
But
Me
something
too.
from I don't think something between Canada and or Mexico would be out of the question by any means.
I definitely
I think
think
so, too. That would be the ideal thing I would probably have.
Especially Southwest. I mean, Southwest seems to have a little bit of a home here, so I feel like that's a possibility.
right.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely could see Cancun being the one flight we would get with Southwest for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
And like Paige loves to say that she would love to see this as a mini Southwest hub in the future. What was it? Omar Pablo, he was talking to us and he said that operations are going to move. Some of the airlines are going to move to opposite sides of the airport.
Oh, yeah, once the renovation is done.
Right. So
Yeah.
United's going to go over to what is now the South Terminal. It's going to go over there just because of how their operations work. So it'll be interesting to see this in the future, but it's 2028, a very long time down the road.
Good times are ahead.
And it's needed
Yeah.
because we also
very
have Berkshire weekend. We got the
Yeah.
College World Series. We got March Madness this year.
It's not even just about the events, just about the town is growing in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless of the events.
We have professional volleyball and possibly the volleyball headquarters, USA Volleyball headquarters of the world moving here. Or the USA, I guess.
Yeah. And
So-
people just want to leave Omaha like we did during the wintertime, during a blizzard to make
And
it
it's
out
also
to
just
Florida.
simply that
yeah.
we're a growing city and it's just outdated.
Yeah. We
That's
need,
just
we need
also
better
fact of the
options.
matter.
Needs to be modernized.
It'll be wonderful. So
As long as they keep cracking McGee's, they can do whatever they want.
Right.
now, what if they had a lounge? Because
Oof.
Lincoln already has a lounge.
A mini lounge would actually be
Yeah,
nice.
it is
like
kind
the
of
one
weird that
has.
Lincoln does have that.
Yeah.
One that you apply for.
Yeah, you had to apply for membership for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Love
I would
to
do
see
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna see those changes coming up in the next few years. So, speaking of, let's continue on with a little bit more Eppley news. We got word last week that Allegiant they're going to change out their aircraft, the A320 that they bring from Orlando Sanford, so they don't fly out of Orlando airport. They fly out of
That's the Allegiant way.
Sanford,
Right.
exactly.
Flying into obscure air, like AZA, not PHX.
Right.
It's like if you take Ryanair into Milan, you're actually flying into Bergamo, which is an hour away. So, yeah, it's kind of their thing. The Allegiant way. They are flying the 737 MAX out to Omaha. So
The 8, right?
Yeah.
The 8.
I believe so. Yeah. So it'll be great to see.
I would assume it's going to be on the Orlando route, but we have several other Allegiant routes. I would assume we'll see it on those too, at some point if it's going to be on that
Eventually.
one.
Right.
That'll be like going into a parallel universe when we see that get here for the first time.
I mean, I don't think we've ever seen an Allegiant aircraft under 9 or 10 years old. So it'll be weird seeing a brand new
Right.
Allegiant aircraft.
They don't have Boeing in general at all.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, no. So
They don't have anything new.
Right.
Right.
So
It's
yeah,
outdated.
this is gonna be crazy for them.
It looks good though. Like the mock-ups of
Yeah.
their Maxes do look good.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll make that my Allegiant aircraft this year. Who knows? For those who don't know, I'm going to talk about it later. I'm trying to fly all the main lines this year. So Allegiant I have yet to fly. Let's talk about another route we're getting. Frontier is now introducing themselves with a route from Omaha to DFW.
Ooh.
Cool.
We get more.
We actually have several Frontier routes already.
Yeah,
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
we
they
have a few
decided to
today.
add one to Eppley and then American.
A seasonal
literally-
route. That is seasonal, by the way. Yeah.
Oh yes.
And American decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and just throw in another flight because we only get 4 of them a day. So now we'll end up
Yeah,
having
another
5 a
flight to
day.
DFW for American.
So American trying to play the DFW Wars, as Justin
It's a
said.
typical business move. I mean, it was smart.
Love it.
Now all we need is Southwest to put another flight to Dallas Love Field on there in retaliation, and we're good to go. Then it's a real war.
No one wants flying to Love Field. As I've said before, DFW is where the cool kids fly into.
Oh, okay. I know.
A counter move to Dallas Love Field isn't a counter move. You know?
It's all they have, though.
Although, as we've mentioned in previous podcasts, the thoughts of Southwest flying into DFW are possibly in the
Yeah.
future. But anyway.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's talk about I just told you guys I'm.
Well, how about speaking of Frontier?
Yeah. So I am actually flying out tomorrow. I'm going to Orlando for the weekend because I'm ready to go see my half brother who I haven't seen in a few years.
Oh, you're
And
ready
his
now.
wife.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Thanks. The way I say it. That does sound bad. No, I'm
Made it sound
going
like
down
you
there
did
to go
that.
see my extended family, and I'm really excited to see them. And I decided, because I'm trying to take all of the airlines this year, I wanted to fly differently than my normal Delta that I usually take.
The normal Delta snob that you are.
I am a Delta snob. However,
He's
as I
bougie.
told you yesterday, I'm not chasing status this upcoming year, but I'm still flying Delta. So, but I'm trying to take different routes to get places. So, like my Milan trip next month, which I can discuss later, different route. It's gonna be great. But yeah, so I am trying to take all the main lines this year. So tomorrow I'm going to be taking A320 Neo with Frontier down to Orlando, and
What's the tail that you got? You got the like the ring-tailed cat,
yeah, I've got
Marty
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
what's it called? The
Obama, the ring-tailed cat. What is it?
The Obama. No, it's the Marshall, the ring-tailed cat.
Marshall. That's right. I was
So I'm
close.
going to fly Marshall tomorrow because every time you
Oh.
take a Frontier, it's always a special livery.
It's always a special.
So I'm going to take that, and then 2 days later, I'm going to be taking Spirit.
Get your boxing gloves ready, bro.
Ooh.
I
Good
have
luck,
never
yep.
taken Spirit ever. This is my first time ever taking
Hope you have
them.
some body armor.
And that
Gear
is
up.
going to be an interesting flight.
But knowing well, nothing will happen. Knowing your luck,
Yeah,
Right.
we got to
Yeah.
send Paige on that flight for something weird to happen.
That's true.
Oh.
Everything happens to Paige.
I just
I
know with my luck.
know.
I just know with my luck, if I took Spirit, it'd be a perfect flight. Nothing would happen.
Right.
In fact, it'd probably make me want to take Spirit again.
Right.
I assume, it's always packed. And I looked at my Orlando to Atlanta flight, and it's completely packed. But they have 5 or 6, 7 flights a day, Orlando to Atlanta, obviously competing
Wow.
against Delta. So interesting. Again, these are these no-frill airlines that
Ultra low cost.
no Wi-Fi,
Yes.
or if you have to pay for the Wi-Fi if it has it.
This is kind of your ULCC weekend. You're taking Frontier and Spirit.
Yes, I'm taking both.
Yeah.
What a brave me, I guess. And
Yes.
It's very un-you taking the cheapest way possible. Yeah. But
it's
this is all going to counteract because how are you getting back to Omaha?
yeah. So on the way back, I'm taking Delta.
There it is.
I'm taking
There we go.
A319,
Oh,
And
such a cute little
They
plane.
have upgraded me up to first
Wow.
class, so I have first class.
So in a matter of a day, you'll be flying Spirit
and
flying first class on Delta.
flying first class.
I think that's known as a culture shock.
It's
I was just about to say that. Yep.
completely.
It's like going from a third world country maybe
Different.
to the United States. I'm not too sure how else to say that.
I mean, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. I hope there's chaos on your Spirit flight.
I kind of do too. Even just a little bit. Maybe not enough to
I'm hoping
divert
for-
you. And
No, I'm hoping for a diversion.
Yeah, you're
Why
hoping
not?
for diversion.
Why not? It's not us, it's him.
well, yeah, I guess.
You know. I hope for mass chaos.
I
Ask him.
have made sure that I have about a 5-hour layover in Atlanta to ensure that if anything wrong goes with Delta or
If there's any duels that break out.
Someone's just
Yes.
gonna get super mad and uproot their seat and
You know,
just
speaking
launch
of
it
those
across
flights
the
to
plane.
nowhere, you might have a flight right back to Orlando.
fly back
You know,
to
we
Orlando.
Right.
literally talked about this earlier. You might
People
just
are
have
gonna
one.
be getting thrown across the plane and pushed around, and
It's
And you'll be the noob on board, so maybe you'll be the guy that gets picked on.
of course. And I won't be able to text you guys to let you know what's happening on the aircraft because they have no Wi-Fi or you have to pay for it. So,
I'll track it on flight radar just to see if you divert.
good luck. So yeah, when I do that, I will. Let's see. I'm tracking here: Alaska, Allegiant, American. Let's start 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 12 or 13 aircraft I'm trying to fly this year, or airlines, including Hawaiian. I'm still trying to figure that one out this year. But that will have me. I will have 5 of them already knocked out after this weekend. So
At your rate, you're gonna have this done by like June, man. You said you're gonna try to do them all year. You're right. You're flying every weekend, brother.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about when I go out to Milan.
Yeah,
Flying
let's continue to talk
American.
about you.
Oh, never mind. You know, we can move on.
No, keep going.
Jeez. Yeah. So, yeah. I hope to have something great for the next podcast in regards to this Orlando trip.
I do too, honestly.
Well, even if you don't, you'll be traveling, so
Yeah.
It'll be something.
you'll have content no matter what happens.
It'll be
Yeah.
nice. So,
It's new airline, so even if it goes perfectly, you'll have new airlines to talk about.
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of, well, just flying for fun, right? That's what we do.
Well, you're going to see family though, but yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. But the whole, I could have went from Orlando to
you
back
could have
to,
gone other ways about it.
correct,
Yeah.
back to Omaha. So, all right. So let's talk about, speaking of Delta.
Uh-oh.
So picture this. You're on aircraft. You're flying. You just left Amsterdam. You're headed back to Detroit. And you're diverting back because there's maggots falling on a passenger.
Oh my gosh. No.
That recently just happened, like literally 2-3 days ago. They literally get about an hour past Amsterdam. So they're probably over England at this time, or maybe even Ireland, and divert all the way back because somebody had a rotten fish.
Rotten fish, plural, who knows? But either
There's
way,
just so many questions.
Mm-hmm.
Wrapped up in a newspaper too.
Is that what it
That's
was?
what it was.
Yes.
It was wrapped up in newspaper?
Wrapped in a newspaper. They're not even in plastic, not in a container. Wrapped in a newspaper.
Hopefully that person was arrested and thrown in jail for the rest of their lives.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, you think about it. They're going to have to pay the European airlines, pay probably some European Union fee.
I can't imagine
yeah.
just having maggots fall on you anywhere, let alone 30,000
Right?
feet up.
It's incredibly gross.
I mean, and
Maggots.
how long did this have to be rotting in order to get maggots? First of all, and this guy, I feel like had to have known there was maggots if that happened, and he obviously put that in his
You would hope
suitcase.
so, yeah. The fact that he wrapped it right.
Yeah.
So that was my hypothetical. So that was that Delta flight not too long ago that had the unfortunate woman that had the RIA. She had the poops.
Yeah.
She had the hashtag the RIA, the runs. Would you rather be sitting next to that woman or have maggots fall on you? You have to pick one. And I'm not talking like you can't be on the plane. You have to be in the scene. Like you either have to have maggots fall on you physically or you got to be next to the woman with the runs.
That's a really tough choice. I think,
For some reason, for me, like it's a lot worse that it's a woman.
oh my God.
If it's a man, I might be a little more willing to sit next to him if this happens versus the maggots. I'm not sure if I could take that. But then again, if there's if my man's going to the bathroom on the floor,
Right.
got issue. There might be maggots anyway. I don't
Think
know.
about this. Yeah,
Oh,
and
right.
your window seat. You are not aisle.
I'm punching that window out. I'm out. I'm gone.
You're gonna be like the 737 Max 9.
I'm
You're popping
I'm gonna be a door plug. I'm gonna be a door plug.
Right.
I'm out.
Yeah, because they're sitting next to you if you're in the window, and you're sure to have that get on you.
It's a tough decision.
in
You got to
some
pick
way.
one, right?
No, I'm picking maggots.
Me too.
There's no
Yeah.
way that I want to, because it's human.
Waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a fluid coming out of a human. It'd be like blood. Don't
It's a fluid coming out of a
think about
human.
it.
That's not a line I thought we'd hear on the exit road today.
It's coming out of human. You got, so
I'm telling
many-
you, a woman with the runs. Sorry, ma'am. Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah, I'm not team maggots, but I'm also not team Rhea. You
No.
know what I mean?
But I'm
So
more team maggots than I
that's
am.
what I
Me
mean.
too.
Like it's tough. It's a tough one.
Ugh, would you rather? That's gonna be like
Either
the
way,
next
I'm
podcast.
barfing. Either way, I am barfing.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, maggots.
Oh my god.
Again,
Ugh.
so here we go again. We had a podcast like during the summer where we talked about animals on planes.
Oh
Now
yeah.
we got maggots. We got doors falling out of aircraft all over, the world, and not just Alaska. And there was a few others that just recently had.
Doors are having a moment.
Doors
They
having-
are.
This is the 2024 moment. This is
Yeah.
the moment of the year for
Doors are
aviation.
definitely having their moment.
The doors
right
are
now.
having moments.
The airplanes are
it's
going.
like a fashion, like short sleeves are in. Doors are having their moment
Right.
now.
The airplanes are going through their doorless era. Swifty reference.
All right.
There we go. Oh, all right. So we are all team maggots for
Yes.
now.
Yeah, you got to be a team. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. If you got to pick, I guess.
All right. Well, then on that note, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the final segment here this evening of the exit row. How we doing? We all still with us?
Still here.
Paige.
Still here.
Good.
Yep.
Adama.
I'm great.
Good.
I'm here. And
All right.
it's time for Paige's polls. Paige's polls. Paige's polls. Paige, what do you have for this podcast?
So, this segment of Paige's polls brings us, what is your favorite United livery? And I put 4 options up there because that's all Instagram would allow. So it's Evo Blue versus Continental versus Battleship Gray versus Tulip. Evo Blue came out as the winner at 36%. Battleship Gray and Tulip tied at 25%. And Continental with 14%. And then I had the option for you to say any other livery. Tanner Spots Planes.
Tennis
and-
plots.
And the Philly Aviator said the Star Wars livery.
Ooh,
All right. They
nice.
didn't understand the assignment, but I also like how they went about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I like it.
Same. And I think Walker Nixon and American FL 55-0 were kind of on the same page. Walker Nixon goes the one from 1957 to 1963 with the blue and red wedge on the tail and the blue stripe on the body. And
So they're like that pre-friendship era, right?
Yep. Yeah, and then American FL 55-0, the Friendship A320, Friendship Retro.
Friendship.
And then Springleaf Aviator said Saul Bass, and I did not know until you told me, Justin, what that was.
Knowledge. That is like the original tulip, the
Yeah.
OG per se, the orange blue.
Yeah, it's the orange.
So when you
blue,
saw
and
that,
then
were
the
you just
blue.
like Saul Bass? Like, what did he mean to reply? Like, what's going on here?
Oh yeah, he put that in the reply.
No,
to
I meant
the-
like when you saw it. Like, were you just like,
Oh.
what is that?
Yes, I was like,
Like sea bass.
Saul Bass?
yeah, I was like, I
His
need
phone
context.
autocorrect like OG tulip to Saul
Right?
Bass.
OG tulip. Sea bass.
But Springleaf Aviator, well said, yeah. Because
Yes.
supposedly, from what I've read, he is the artist that came up with the OG tulip livery scheme, whatever you want to call it.
The more you know with
Yeah.
the exit row.
Absolutely, learn something every day,
Yeah.
whether it's true knowledge or not.
Not everything's fact.
Shout out Saul Bass though, maybe Bass. Who knows? Saul B. Shout out Saul B.
SB.
Okay.
SB.
You two. What's your favorite?
Ladies
Battleship
first.
Gray.
Oh yeah, you got like a weird fetish with gray planes, right?
I love gray planes.
Gray plane all day.
Yes, there's just something about that just looks so.
What is
sweet.
it about gray planes? I meant to ask you.
Let's have this conversation.
Are we talking
know.
any gray or just like a matte gray or just
Any gray?
Any gray.
Any gray. Because there's a.
Does chrome
Gray-
count? Like, does American Airlines, era chrome, does that count? Is that gray or no?
Ooh, the chrome. Yeah, the chrome.
Or even their current livery, is that gray? Do you consider that gray?
I would not consider their current gray. It's more like a beige, I think.
It's like an off-white, in my opinion, yeah.
Yeah. Chrome, I do like it. However, I wouldn't consider it gray.
So you're like into military planes, like the
Yeah, I was gonna say
KC, like the
military.
Pegasus planes, like that kind
Yeah.
of gray?
Gray and silver. Silver is another one, along that same realm that I
So
just
you're a big,
absolutely
like, fighter jet girl, huh?
Sure, yeah. That color scheme, I really
Gray
like.
planes are sweet.
Right, like the Allegiant Raiders plane that I've been trying to get for the last 2 years that finally came in this last week, and I finally got it. And I love that because it's gray.
It is a cool looking livery, yeah.
It looks amazing.
Even if the team sucks.
Yeah.
It is a great looking livery, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. There's just something about them that just captures my eye.
No, yeah,
It's
we all got something weird we like about a plane. Yeah, gray. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's too bad because from what I've read, like we'll never see a battleship gray special livery, which would be cool. But
I
it's
know.
too many people associate it with 9/11. That's
Yeah.
like what I've heard from United, which is probably true because I like the livery, but I always think of 9/11 honestly when I see it. Kind of hate that that's the truth, but it is.
Yeah.
But my personal favorite, I'll go Saul Bass. I was gonna say original. I was gonna say OG Tulip, but I'll say Saul Bass. But Evo Blue has grown on me. I remember when Evo Blue first came out, I hated it. I really did.
Really.
But it grew on me so much. I love it now.
I love it.
It's borderline my favorite. But I remember when it first debuted. Nope, was not into it.
Huh.
Interesting.
I'm definitely the OG Tulip.
Saul Boss.
Yeah, I definitely like that one. And
What about, isn't there another one? We could actually include another one. It's the Continental Hybrid, the wavy line that's on the Maxes and the Dreamliners.
And I do like that.
I hate it.
I like
just
it way
hate the
more than Continental.
I love it. I think they look very classy on the Dreamliners and the Maxes. I think it looks good.
I agree.
Didn't I send you something this week, Paige, about how we learned that some of the engines are colored differently? And maybe it's on that one that shows that it's a different engine.
I showed you that because we always thought that the 777s with the bracelets, as I like to call it, were unintentional, just like a typical mismatch. But those are actually put on there to show that they've had a certain modification to the engine nacelle. Is that how you say it? I think.
Something.
Yeah, I believe it is that.
Yeah, you're right.
Feel free to correct me on that, but it's something with an engine modification that shows mechanics that plane is equipped with it. So.
And also those cowlings, there's just not the older ones available anymore. The only ones that are available, also just the ones painted in Evo Blue.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So there we go. There's
yours. What was yours? Oh, you said Saul Bass.
Yeah,
You went Saul Bass as well.
Saul Bass, whatever.
Saul Bass.
Yeah, definitely like the Tulip. I would love to see a livery painted in that, but
Oh, me too.
yeah.
Back in the day, Omaha did do that regularly.
Yes,
Yep.
it did. All right. So let's talk about guns and TSA.
Pew pew.
See, no, not guns. Not. However, did you know that 18 guns are stopped at TSA checkpoints daily?
Daily?
Oh, that's rather disturbing.
Why do people think they can get those through?
I don't understand this.
I don't know if it's so much people think they can or they just literally don't know.
Forgot they
how
had
many
it
people
in
are
a bag
flying
or
that have
whatever.
never flown or
They're like, I showed you guys. Like, it's here. I'm showing you. Here's my
Right?
gun. 6,737 firearms were discovered in carry-on bags in 2023. Okay, that is astonishing. Found at 265 airports so this is only for America, all right, the United States. And, we saw the drop of that in 2020 during COVID, but it just keeps increasing each year. So the statistic that I have this graph here, it goes up and then, COVID, and then goes back up and even more. 93% of those guns were loaded. So not
That's
even
really
had
scary.
like, so 7% of the people thought, I'm not going to load my gun, but I'm still going to put in my carry-on. I don't know how this happens, but found it very interesting. Now, where do you think that which states do you think 3 of these?
Texas.
Yeah, Texas had 3.
Florida.
3 of the top 10. And what?
Florida.
And Florida had the other 3 of the top 10. So you have Atlanta had 451, which actually Atlanta had the most guns that came through or that were detected from TSA. Denver's on that list with 178. Phoenix, Dallas, BNA. What's BNA? Is that Nashville? Nashville.
Yep.
Houston, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, and Orlando.
All the major Florida airports.
Right.
Very odd. I don't know how this happens, but yeah. So, yeah, Atlanta was first, Dallas second, and Houston third, followed by Phoenix fourth. So, I don't know how this happens. I'm not a gun owner. It's whatever, but I'm just saying, seeing that stat was just kind of alarming, and thankfully TSA is out there doing their job.
Heck yeah.
Some of the things that I read is like, if TSA catches you with a gun, though, you could receive a civil penalty of up to $15,000. That's a hefty paycheck. You will lose your TSA pre-check for at least 5 years, which is funny. And then
Right.
You can expect on future airport visits, you're going to get the dreaded Quad S on your boarding pass, which means
It's fitting.
enhanced security and enhanced screenings. So found that interesting. I wanted to share it. 2023, we still have people who are carrying firearms in their carry-on bags. Shocking.
Wild.
All right, let's go to talking about Wall Street Journal just released the best and worst airlines in the U.S. for 2023. And the metrics are based on-time performance, complaints, and involuntary bumping. So, who do you think?
I love involuntary bumping.
Right?
Right? That's such a way to put it. Like,
You got bumped.
yeah, flight attendant. I'm getting bumped right now. Can you just help me out here?
Out of the 9 airlines that you can think of, who do you think would be ranked 9th?
Korean Air.
I'm sorry, these are American Airlines.
Right.
So is this 9th best or 9th worst?
9th worst.
Okay.
You want
Spirit.
to go from 9?
You're going to go Spirit?
Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Southwest.
No.
JetBlue was ranked 9th.
What the heck?
So 9 is being the worst, right?
Yeah, 9 is being the worst. In 2022, they were also ranked 9th. So just due to time performance, cancellations, extreme delays, tarmac delays. And they're really bad at handling baggage at 6th place. In 8th place would be another low-cost carrier. Good luck to me tomorrow. Frontier Airlines. However, I don't have any bags, so I'm just doing my carry-on. In 7th is going to be Spirit. All right. So they're keeping the same rankings from 2022. Same with Frontier in 8th, and in 7th, Spirit. In 6th place, this one was a shocker to me. In 2024, they were ranked 4th. It's one of the big 3.
American.
Delta.
It's United.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So you're saying they fell from the previous year?
Yeah, they fell from 4th down to 6th.
Oh, wow.
Due to 8th place in finishing for cancellations, tarmac delays, and mishandling of bags. In 5th place, we had American, who actually improved.
What's up?
4th place had a decrease.
Uh-oh.
Southwest.
Yeah, because they were number 1, weren't they?
No, they were in 3rd in 2022. In 3rd place is Allegiant, who actually improved from 5th place.
I've heard good things about Allegiant, yeah.
Yeah, so they moved up. They took first in involuntary bumping and mishandling baggage, but second overall in flight cancellations, tarmac delays.
Well, their volume is not what it is of the other airlines. So if you're doing well on those, your scores are going to go higher.
Right.
They're going to more easily go up higher. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a shocker. Second place.
I don't know. I'm honestly forgetting the
No
airlines
worries.
we've already said.
Alaska Airlines.
Oh, there we
Alaska's
go.
got second again, and then in first place,
Delta. Of
just gonna throw it out there.
Adama Air.
Obama Air, as
Bougie
the Delta
Air.
Sky Miles box gave me. So yeah, I just really was shocked about JetBlue being ninth in a way.
Me too.
I mean, those are based on those 3 metrics, though. So
Right.
I'm sure JetBlue's going to, I've seen them ranked, top 5 in terms of like service provided.
Right.
Given the metrics,
Yes.
they're last.
I
But-
would agree with that, absolutely.
Right. If you grade them on the metrics that you want, they're probably going to be first. Like they do have a good service, and they're probably going to rank top 3. But given the metrics,
Yeah.
they come in last.
For
yeah.
service and in-flight entertainment was top up there for sure.
It was.
Yes.
So those who are still listening, thank you so much for listening.
Is this it?
This is going to be it. However, one more thing before we do the handle train, as Justin likes to say. Paige, you have a video that will be coming out.
I do, yes. In just a few days, I'm going to have a fun little video. I ordered 2 planes off of Temu.
Temu.
Come on,
yes,
we heard
thanks,
it like 7 times.
thanks to
on
the Super Bowl.
It's the big game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The big game.
Yes.
Copyright protection. Sorry.
Oops, sorry.
Super Bowl. Screw it.
But I will be doing a live video unboxing of that right after we finish up this podcast.
Might be the coolest video you'll probably ever see in your life.
That's true. It could be, honestly, depending.
Recorded by Adama of Paige. What's going to get better than that, right?
Right.
I say nothing less. So the concept of the video is you ordered these having low expectations.
Yes.
And you're going to see if you even got what you ordered first off. And if not, how far off are they?
Right, because see, here's the thing, and I'll just say this. I did not order an A380. However, one of the boxes has an A380 printed on it.
What?
Yeah,
But hey, I mean, at the end of the day, you wouldn't mind an A380.
right. I already have several A380 models, but, I'll take another one. But, yeah, it wouldn't be what I ordered, but we'll see right after this finishes. We'll see.
All right. So look forward to seeing that published. Justin, take it away.
At spotting.omaha.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the handle train. Here's the handle train.
Yeah, handle train, yeah. Yeah, handle train, yeah. At spotting.omaha.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Paige.
You can find me at Oma Spotter Page and then my little travel buddy adventures with Aileron.
And you find me at Photography by Adama D. Please follow us at the Exaropod on Instagram as well. And maybe soon Twitter and all these other handles when we get more
Probably
social
not,
media. But, we try our best. Please like, subscribe, share, and please provide feedback as you desire. And we're always here to get better. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.